What up, everybody? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I'm doing a weekly forecast for everybody for the week of April 19th through April 26th of 2020. I hope everybody's doing well out there and safe from all the madness and healthy and all of that good stuff. I've been on a little hiatus. I had to get some technical things and some life things situated, but I'm back to deliver the cosmic weather report. So how you doing? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. So what's going on this week? You know what? First, I wanted to mention the fact that the sun is in Taurus. The sun entered Taurus on the 19th, and the sun will be in Taurus until May 20th, right? Yeah, through May 20th. That means the sun is highlighting Taurus things, anything that Taurus rules. And people are saying, oh, it's Taurus season. You know, most people only recognize the sun being in signs. So, of course, like, they're just going to say that that's the season of that sign. But you know how we do around here, okay? We know already that other planets will travel through the signs too. So we already had a taste of the Taurus energy, basking in it when Venus was in Taurus in the last month or two. And yeah, it was last month in March. Venus was in Taurus, spreading her beautiful energy around and having us enjoying all the beautiful things of the world, like chocolate and all kinds of good foods, and also like flowers and all that good stuff, because Taurus rules the five senses. Taurus rules everything that's in our physical world, everything that's materialized in front of us, and that includes things that are man-made and also things that are made by nature. And Taurus energy is highly, highly affiliated with nature, all things and any of our natural resources. And that's why 420, happy 420 to those who celebrate. It lands when the sun is in Taurus, because Taurus rules marijuana, okay? Taurus rules cannabis. It rules plants, you know, and that grows from the ground. And also Taurus energy is like super chill, super laid back. It could be hella lazy, you know. Taurus rules food, so that's why it's like people like to smoke, they like to chill, they like to have these. That is the Taurus way of life all the time. Not all Tauruses smoke like that, but you know, we're pretty chill people, and we like to munch out, you know. Yeah, so the sun is in Taurus until May 20th. And excuse me, the sun is pretty close to Uranus in Taurus, and Uranus is the planet that rules everything that's like weird and different and eccentric. It rules electricity, shocks and shocking things that happen in our lives and stuff that's all of a sudden, the trends and like what's popular. Actually, all the outer planets, the ones that move the slowest, like Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto, they can show during their transits what is like popular amongst the masses and what is more being talked about in the media and the mainstream, stuff like that. So when we have Uranus and Taurus, like it rules like the waves, coming waves, trends, fads, things that are popular, that there's like a buzz about it, you know. And so if you notice, yeah, I know we have the going on, and that's why people are wearing these face masks, right? It rules the mouth. It rules the lower part of the face. So that includes like the mouth and the chin area, the throat. That's all ruled by Taurus. And so, you know, it's like becoming a little trendy thing now to wear face masks and stuff. Actually, it already was, because if you guys are on Snapchat, you know that the filters, they have all these cute filters that have the face masks on them. So whoever created those filters, they were already like predicting the future, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Uranus being in show, something that's trendy amongst masses of people, that's fashionable, you know, or that we actually have to wear. People do have to wear, but it's becoming fashionable to wear like the little, you know, little accessory like right there on your face, right? So yeah, the sun is creeping up on Uranus, and that means there's just a lot of like there could be a lot of this like nervous energy in the air. There could be this energy in the air to where people want to connect more with one another through technology, or just like mess with technology more. People want to do shocking things, you know, that people don't expect of them, and that are rebellious when we have the Sun and Uranus together. Some people can be having technological issues, or just anything that's like unexpected and surprising, you know, just popping up. Even people, depending upon where Taurus is in your chart. Like if you have Taurus, if Taurus rules like your any house is to rule people and talking to people, you know, like the 3rd house, the 5th house, the 7th house, and the 11th house, I would say. If you have Taurus as any of those houses, then you can have like people just pop up out of the blue randomly, you know, hitting you up and stuff. But for everybody else, just as a collective, it's just like this energy to where we're like, whatever, I do what I want. Very rebellious, you know. Maybe wearing some stuff expressing, the Sun is expression, so expressing ourselves in ways that are different, outlandish, rebellious, weird, you know, stuff like that. So that's the Sun in Taurus. So where's the Moon at? Where is Miss Moon hanging out? Well, she's actually hanging out in Aries. She's hanging out in Aries like the first couple days of the week. So on 4/20, the Moon is in Aries, and then the Moon is there on the 21st, and then on the 22nd, the Moon enters the sign of Taurus. Where's she at? Okay, we have the Moon entering the sign of Taurus, and we also have a new moon in Taurus. So the new moons are when the Sun and Moon, they get together in the same sign around at the same degree. So it looks like that's going to be like in the evening time, in the western part of the USA, on the West Coast. Yeah, it's like, okay, so West Coast USA, it's like around 7:30 p.m. East of us in the US, it's 10:30 p.m. and eastern parts of the world, Europe and beyond, it's going to be into the next day, the 23rd probably. So we have a new moon in Taurus. That means things are growing. Okay, you know, with the new moon, yeah, there can be something new that grows, but first the grounds have to be cleared and make sure that they're fertile for things to grow. Then once we see the moon progress and start to move through the signs, and in the sky you'll start to see like the moon form a crescent, and you can start to see it. It's visible in the sky again. That's when, you know, over the course of the next 2 weeks after this new moon, you may see something that new moon brought about for you start to develop and come into fruition. Now, this new moon is in a conjunction with Uranus, and it's in a square aspect, a challenging aspect to Saturn. So what does all of that nerdy math add up to? Okay, so let me break it down. New moon and Uranus, that means there could be something that's new, that's shockingly brought about to you, or some shocking news that brings about something new. Right? So that depends on whatever it is, depends upon where Taurus is in your chart. Once, you know, like what house Taurus is in for you, where the new moon is landing. But this could be something shocking that shakes you out of your comfort zone, that wakes you up. That's like a revelation or epiphany or awakening when there's a new moon with Uranus. There is an aspect to Saturn that's challenging, which Saturn is, you know, he's grumpy old man Saturn. He wants things to stay the same. Yeah, like Saturn rules like history and stuff like that, and elderly people. You know how a lot of elderly people, they like to talk about back in my day, and they like things to stay how they were back in their day, and when they change, they get like all pissed off and, you know, and express that. That's how Saturn can act. But see, Saturn is in Aquarius. Aquarius, it's ruled by Uranus, which is about change, extreme change, radical changes. So there's this challenging aspect, you know, with the new moon, Uranus and Saturn. There's something that we could be pushed and forced into changing in our lives, that we may be digging our hooves in the ground or our heels in the ground, not wanting to budge, not wanting to move, not wanting to change. But the universe is calling upon us to change something. So as far as what that is, like I said, it's up to you in your chart. Where's Taurus at there? Where's Aquarius at? Those two areas of life could be challenging each other. But yeah, something new. A lot of times new moons, I find that something old goes away in order for something new to be welcomed in. Or sometimes it is just a new beginning within an existing situation in your life. So whether that's job, relationship, whatever. Okay. So that is going on the 22nd. So then the moon continues to be in the sign of Taurus over the next couple days. And once the moon escapes the grips of Uranus, the lightning electric shocks of Uranus, it is going to be comfortable in the sign of Taurus, making us crave comfort and security and all the good grub and all the good sights and smells and everything else, and like comfy blankets and pillows and everything else. Okay. And Taurus is the ultimate Netflix chill energy too. So the sun is in Taurus, the moon's in Taurus. So yeah, Taurus energy is all up in the making us just kind of like wanting to just hang out. Everybody's doing that anyway during this quarantine time, I would imagine. But yeah, so the 23rd, the 24th, the moon is still in Taurus, making us super chill. And then we get to the 25th, the moon is in Gemini, and also the sun and Uranus will be in an exact conjunction on that day. So that day there's a little more of a hyper energy on the 25th, especially because of this conjunction. Like I said, it rolls electricity, lightning bolts, shocks, like bzz, bzz, bzz. It's like a nervous energy. Something can shock us out of our comfort zone indeed during this time. And then we have a moon. The moon is in Gemini. The moon enters Gemini like in the morning, I would imagine, on the 25th. And moon and Gemini days are all about like talking, okay, and gossip. All right. So yeah, during the days when the moon is in Gemini. So yeah, it looks like over here where I'm at, it's right as the day turns into the 25th, the moon goes into Gemini, joining Venus later on. And so people are just much more communicative, chatty, quick-witted, flying around, which I love when the moon is in Gemini for that reason. I'm all about the memes and the jokes and the funny shit, so that's what our mood and our attitude is like when the moon is in Gemini. Moon and Gemini days, people don't really take things too seriously. It's very court jester energy. Moon and Venus in Gemini, it can mean that we are craving conversation from people. We may be more busier when it comes to like being on our phones, talking to people, texting, social media, whatever, when the moon is in Gemini. And then there's Venus too, so we could be really craving variety. What day of the week is that? That's on Sunday. Oh yeah. So I mean, I know there's that doesn't really matter too much right now with what's going on. Oh, it's Saturday. It's like, yeah, no shit, but who cares? Because we're doing the same thing we've been doing the day before, the week before. Most of us, not a damn thing. But a lot of us, hey, people who still work from home during the week, that's still kind of a day off for a lot of you guys. So it's still like time that you can have to yourself to do some leisurely things. So if it's in Gemini, then you will be craving variety in what you do to enjoy yourself, because it's the moon joining Venus, which rules enjoyment. But yeah. Oh, and speaking of Venus and Gemini, you guys, Venus is going to go retrograde in Gemini, as I have been preparing you guys since she entered the sign, just kind of giving bits and pieces of Venus and Gemini retrograde information, because Venus in retrograde is a very important transit to pay attention to. And you guys know your homegirl here is extremely ruled by Venus. I have three or four planets in the sign of Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, including Venus, and they're in the house of Venus, which is the 7th house. So I'm extremely Venusian. Venus retrograde, oh my gosh, like, let me tell you guys, me and my astrology homegirl Apollonia, the astrology lady, we did a live stream the last time Venus was retrograde in 2018. And I think we did it right smack in the middle of that transit. And when I went back and watched that video, oh my gosh, I could see it in my eyes that I was sad. I was worn and beaten down. Not like literally, like physically. Okay, nobody beat me, okay? But I mean, like, energetically and emotionally, just like still trying to hold it together in my life. It was crazy. We are going to do another live stream. I will keep you guys posted on the day. But Apollonia and myself, and we may have another special guest too, another special homie that might pop in to give our take on what Venus retrograde is going to bring to all of us as a collective, and also go spill a little of our own tea and give some examples of other people's lives and like incidents that have happened with Venus retrograde. I'll tell you what happened to me last Venus retrograde. It was in my sign, which is Scorpio. It was at the degree. So much happened. Crazy stuff. Apollonia has some stories too. So if you guys experiences or stories that you want to share about the last Venus retrograde transit from 2018, the fall of 2018, then please leave them in the comment. And yes, I am going to be able to live stream. Okay. It has been a pain in the ass, like, to get my live streaming abilities back. YouTube makes it so difficult now. I don't know why, and yes, I'm a Taurus stellium. We hate change. I don't mind changes, but when they're like unnecessary, they get on my nerves. I don't know why YouTube had to make all these crazy changes to their platform. And it just made it so much more difficult. You have to extra this and that and do all this extra crap just to go live now. And it's very confusing, very annoying. And then plus I didn't have internet for a while. But yes, I have live streaming abilities now. So we will be doing a live stream where you guys will be able to see my face again. Okay. I haven't really been present live in a long time here on my channel or anywhere else. So yes, I will be doing that. I'll keep you Venus retrograde in Gemini. We will be going over all about her. It may be a few hours long, but your girl will hook you guys up with timestamps. Okay. So anyway, the moon in Gemini, the 25th. And also on the 25th, we have Mercury in a square where's Mercury? Mercury at a square aspect to Pluto and Jupiter. Yeah, on the 25th, okay? So, Mercury in a square, a challenging aspect to Pluto, that can have people thinking are more fearful, more fear-based. People are thinking in terms that are like, it can give you kind of paranoia, Mercury square Pluto. It can also make you challenge people as far as, are they really telling you the truth? Like, are they really giving you the real deal? Are people being honest with you? Your BS detector may be a little bit, more sharper on that day, maybe going off. But you kind of have to, the square presents a challenge. So the challenge when Mercury square Pluto is trying to decipher and figure out, are you just being paranoid about things, or are you really picking up on some hidden information and some secrets? Okay. Mercury square Pluto can have us thinking a little bit of darker thoughts. But I'm not too worried about that because Jupiter is not too far ahead. It's like right there. And Jupiter brings the opposite. Jupiter is optimism. It's faith. It is happy-go-lucky energy. It's believing that everything is awesome and you can just jump after things. And it's blind faith too. It's Jupiter. So Mercury square Jupiter, it can challenge your faith and belief in things. So maybe your faith and belief in there being a brighter day, there being a such thing as a tomorrow. It can challenge you with that. or sometimes people can go over Jupiter. A lot of things that are associated with Jupiter have the prefix of the word over, like over dash, overthinking, overeating, over exaggerating, anything that's over, you can do too much of. So doing the most with Mercury square Pluto, try not to do that. But this transit can definitely challenge your mind and make you think about a lot of different things. It can make you go back and forth between being very fearful of the future and being very hopeful of the future. So that's just something to look out for with that transit. So then let's see. Yeah, Moon in Gemini, 25th, 26th. Okay, so we're going through the 26th. So the moon will actually be joining Venus, but the moon will actually also be squaring Neptune. Okay, the moon will be squaring Neptune on the 26th, on Sunday. Okay, this is like more in the afternoonish or maybe evening where you're at, but the moon square Neptune, the challenge there, and Venus is building up to squaring Neptune as well. So there could be challenges with, like, people being honest with you, or you possibly deceiving yourself. Venus square Neptune can present like a longing for something that's unattainable or someone that's unattainable. Because Venus does rule love, and people could be longing for someone that, they just seem like unreachable, unavailable for some reason. Neptune rules fantasy. Maybe you can just develop an extreme celebrity crush, you know what I'm saying? And like be really like, oh my gosh, I really wish that I could meet so and so. They're so handsome or beautiful or whatever. They're so dope. It could be something just as subtle and simple as that. Like, let me tell you guys, let me spill a little tea, who I've been crushing on. Venus is building up to this, right? So I'm like hardcore crushing on the dude that plays Caesar on the Netflix series On My Block. Oof, let me tell you, that is a fine man right there. Okay, so my celebrity crush, I have been catching myself, like, anything he posts, I'm like, yeah. Not like that, not like a perv, but just really like, oh my gosh, if only I could meet this dude. Like, he's so fine. Oh my God. Yeah. But he's the type that he knows he's fine. You can tell by what he posts, but whatever. But yes, celebrity crushes, or even crushes on people that you should put up a boundary between yourself and them. Okay. Because Neptune dissolves boundaries. It makes you not really see the boundaries. Like, maybe someone's in a relationship already, or maybe someone is, forbidden fruit for some reason, or they're locked up, they're far away somewhere, they live in a country or somewhere like extremely far from you, and you're just longing for them, or maybe they're emotionally unavailable. I know a little too much about that. And Venus square Neptune can have you longing for them to be emotionally available to you. And then the moon rules our emotions, our emotional state. So we have the moon and Venus together, which both are planets of love, I guess you can say. And they're both squaring Neptune. So Sunday can be a day when this is creative energy. The moon is like the inner mind, and then Neptune is art, music, poetry, dancing, stuff like that. So it's a square aspect, which is a challenge. Maybe we could be more tapped in and tuned into stuff like that. Maybe to try to escape the BS, like not, we escape it through Neptune. These squares to Neptune can also make people dive into escape as well. And hey, no judgment here, as long as it's responsible and not life threatening or anything like that. But make people kind of overdo it sometimes, because they really just like, a moon square Neptune, it's really hard to face reality. So you want to escape it. You don't want to deal with it. You want to run away from your feelings. You can be too much in your feels. And also be careful of people trying to deceive you when it comes to love and emotions and playing upon your emotions and stuff. Okay. So, Yeah, that's really it, guys, for the forecast for 6th of April. And I really hope you guys have a good week. I hope everybody, once again, is staying safe, staying healthy, and not fighting over no toilet paper, okay? I actually did see post a picture the other day, just a few days ago, of an injury that they had from fighting somebody over some damn toilet paper in the store. Like, I've been cracking jokes about this since last month, but no, especially with like squares to Pluto and Mars, like Mars squaring Uranus transits, it can cause people to act out in like weird, crazy, irrational ways. I've been joking about it and kind of predicting it too, but no, somebody I know actually really seriously got into a fight over some damn toilet paper at the store. Someone snatched it out of her arms. I was like, are you serious? Oh my gosh, people are just, this world is just so ghetto. Like, I just can't. So stay away from the toilet paper bandits out there, and yeah, stock up on some water, something like really meaningful and useful. Taurus season, quote unquote. The sun is in Taurus. Mercury will be joining Taurus next week, so bask in the energy of Taurus. From a Taurus person, my advice for you guys during Taurus season is definitely to take time to treasure things and treasure people, to really feel things, see things, hear things, smell things, and taste things. Like, for real. Don't rush through things, other people, and be annoying with that either. Take the time to admire things that are beautiful in this world. See the beauty in, not just like pass everything by. Notice the colors, notice everything. Take the time to notice everything beautiful, and enjoy some chocolate, enjoy some, I don't know, just enjoy like really good stuff. And what else can I say? What other advisement can I give as a Taurus? With Taurus season, well, just cherish everything and everyone. If somebody gives you one thing, today is 420 as I'm recording this. I'm not really huge on the 420 activities, but I'm not gonna lie and say I've never participated. It's occasional for me. And when I was younger, like in high school, it was very frequent. I have somebody very special to me who's now in the spirit realm. I've mentioned him several times. I always mention him because still like in contact with each other, even though he's over there in the spirit realm. But we used to chill and do 420 things, and he really took me away from all the stress and everything. We just really chilled out together. That was someone who gave the best hugs and embraces that were just so, because we were soulmates, and I will never forget the hugs that he gave, the embraces that he gave. They were lingering and warm, and it wasn't just like, because I experienced that with him. I really despise, especially as a Taurus, because Taurus rules the touch, and being affectionate is a Taurus thing as well. But I really despise like those half-ass hugs, like when people give you like a sideways weird thing, or they pat you on the back, or it's like with one arm. Like, I hate that shit. I do. And it's because of that gave these embraces that I had never felt at that time, never felt hugs like that ever. Now I make sure that I give people those type of hugs and embraces so that they know how good that feels. I have had a chance to experience that again with another soulmate. I'm not going to get too deep into that. I'm sorry, you guys. Taurus is my 7th house of relationships. So, and Venus is retro in my 8th. So I've been reflecting big time. But back to my advisement as a Taurus, this people can remember how you made them feel physically. If you gave them a nice, soothing, comforting touch,